Number one, you've got to have a plan. If you wander around in the dark with money long enough, you will hit the wall. You've got to know where you're going. You've got to have a roadmap in order to get there. Now, your financial plan is going to change dramatically over the course of your life. You're going to want to plan for things like retirement and your kids' college education and how you're going to manage insurance and what is your tax strategy. And yes, your financial plan is going to be complicated going forward. But right now, the situation that you're in right now, you're college students. And really, the college student should focus on one basic part of a financial plan, and that's called the budget. And the budget is actually very simple. You can do it on a single sheet of paper. You can take a sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle and a line across the top, and on one column you write income, and on another column you write expense. Now, if you fancy business majors, you could label the column, revenue, and the other column debt. And for those of you non-business majors who just want to keep things simple, income is money coming in, expense is money going out. Do you want to know the secret to success? Financial success, I mean. The secret to financial success is spend less than you make. That's it. That's all you have to do is spend less than you make. The problem is that in America today, there's very few families that actually spend less than they make. We are a society that has become enamored with debt and credit. It's because we want things right now and we're willing to go into hock in order to get it. Okay? But let's look at this whole income versus expense thing. What is income to a college student? I mean, I don't know you individually, and each one of you are going to have your own personal situation, but I do know that you're a common group, you're a college student. So where do college students get their money? Well, there's three basic sources. Number one, mom and dad, if they're able to help. Number two, from a job, if you're working your way through school. And number three, from financial aid, and we'll just lump all financial aid into that, loans, grants, scholarships, all of that. So those are the three basic ones. I mean, you may have a grandmother or something that's helping you, and that's great. But for most college students, it's one of these three. So you take those three items, one or all that you're getting revenue from, and you add them together, and you come up with a single number. And that's the number. That's the number that you have to spend less than. Then you move over to the other side, to the expense side. Now, the expense side is much more complicated because the expenses are extremely personal. It's all about you. It's all about what kind of a person that you are. I can guarantee you that there are those of you watching that if you have $1 in your pocket, that dollar will burn a hole in your pocket until you can figure out a way to spend it because you're a spender. And there are also people watching who would have that same dollar in their pocket and they would fight you before they'd give up that dollar because they're savers. Now, the healthy place to be is probably somewhere in the middle, okay? You don't want to spend yourself into bankruptcy, but you also don't want to be such a miser that you don't live your life, okay? But you have to decide for yourself what type of personality you are and what kind of a money manager you're going to be. I can't tell you that. I can give you a model, though, to work from. And the model is this. You have to decide for yourself the difference between what you need versus what you want. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, I don't like this dude because this dude's telling me, hey, I can't get the things that I want. And that's not what I'm saying. All I'm asking you to do is to differentiate between the things that you need versus the things that you want and pay for the things that you need first. After you've paid for the things that you need, go get what you want. Go get everything that you want. The problem is that we as a society usually have a pretty expanded view of what it is that we think we need. So by the time we get done paying for our needs, we don't have any money left over to go after the things that we want. But it's personal. It's all about you. For example, I could say something that everybody in this room might have a different opinion on, and I'm sure that I would have a different opinion. For example, what if I was to say to you, while you're in college, do you need a car? I know you've got lots of things going through your head right now. And I'd love to be able to ask you about it, but we don't have time. So let me go through whether or not I think you need a car, because I would probably have a little different perspective than you would. Here's my reasons that you might need a car. Number one, If you live in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and you drive 30 miles to get to class because you're a commuter student, I would say yes, you need a car to go to college. Number two, if you take your car and drive it to some job that is providing you with revenue so that you can afford to be here, I would say yes, you need a car to go to college. Number three, now this one may surprise you coming from me, but if your mommy and daddy are paying for the car, why not have the car? It's not hurting your financial plan any. But what if you're making the car payment and you're paying for the gas and the insurance and the parking here on campus? Do you need a car? You know, life's all about decisions. What if you had just enough money to either make a car payment or a tuition payment? What are you going to do? Okay, now not everything is as big a deal as a car. There are other things that can eat away at your financial plan and you don't even know that they're happening, okay? Typically they're habitual, they're habits. Now habits can be a good thing in college because habits get students to where they should be. You be here, you be at class, you do this, you study. Those are good things. But habits can also be deteriorating. For example, let's say that you're in the habit of every morning when you get up to go to class, you just have to have that designer cup of coffee. You have to have it. So you go and you buy a $4 designer cup of coffee. All right, and then it's in between class, but it's not quite time for lunch yet, so you stop off at the snack machine, you buy a $1.25 snack. Okay, just Monday through Friday when you're going to class. Now Friday rolls around and you decide, you know what, I'm tired of eating on the meal plan, I'm just gonna go off campus and get me a meal. So you go buy, something at a restaurant for $20. And then Saturday night rolls around and you gotta go out with your friends on Saturday night, so you go spend $30 spending, whatever you do on a Saturday night. Well, so what? I mean, that's just living, right? I mean, you're talking about $4 during the week for a cup of coffee, $1.25 out of the snack machine, $20 to eat out one meal a week, and then $30 on the weekend? What's the big deal? Did you know that at the end of 1 year, you will have spent over $3,000 on those items? Now, the question that you have to ask yourself is this: what would I do? What would my behavior be if I had $3,000 in my possession all at once? Would I go out and buy cups and cups of coffee? Maybe. I mean, go somewhere and get it cheaper. But what if I really wanted to go to Cancun for spring break? And what if $3,000 was enough money to get me there? You know what, guys? The dollar amount in that income column, that number that we said you had to spend less than, it never changed. The only thing that changed was when you got over here to the expense side, you managed your money in such a way that you were able to save up $3,000 to get something that you wanted. You manage your money. Don't let your money manage you.